Then we assign it to the developer, and developer will analyze it. He will not go through or like don't tell like that. He will analyze that defect. Okay, so if it is a valid defect, then he will fix it. If it is a valid defect, then he will fix it. Or okay, suppose it's a valid defect, he will fix it and move to the QA, and status will change to the QA. Okay, then we will retest it. If it is fixed, then we will close it. Okay, otherwise if while analyzing developer is thinking it's not a valid defect, then he will he will change the defect status to pending reject. Okay, so once if we are also agree with the developer, we will move the defect to the reject status. Okay, and suppose uh, developer is saying we don't have sufficient time to fix this defect, then in that case we will move that defect to the future sprint or future release. In that state, defect status will be deferred. Okay, now there are some defects which comes we don't know exact replication steps for those defects. In that case, we will mark those defect as a intermittent, or we will monitor those defects. Okay, we will we will uh, put the defect status in monitor stage. Okay, एवढं काय अवघड आहे का? तुम्ही किती अवघड करून घेताय? असं नाही वाटत? राणी सांगते का तू?
Oh, sir. Okay. While performing the testing, when tester found a new bug, then it changed the status as a new and assigned to the concerned developer. The developer first analyze the bug. If it is actual bug, then it accepts the bug and do the changes according to into the code according to the changes, then fix it, and then mark the status as a fixed and send to the QA. Then tester reopen the bug and check it is fixed or not. Then application is working fine or not. According to that, if application is working fine, they mark the status as a close. If the developer reject the bug, then he has to provide the different reasons or whatever it is. If it is rejected, then we have to accept and go through the if it is rejected or not. Then for the deferred bug means the impact of that bug on the application is less or very minor, so that we can solve into the next release.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's it, sir.
Very good. Anyone else can tell? Anyone else? Sunil, can you try? Hey, look, we need to practice it, okay? Because without practicing, if you go to the interview, then it will be problematic. Okay? So anyone else? Ajit,
Good morning.
good morning.
Uh, as soon as the engineer, test engineer, review the
Mhm.
bug,
So
said,
now here we are the test engineer, right? So don't mention
okay,
as a test engineer. So when we are testing, okay, you did it, you have 3 years of experience. So don't tell test engineer or like that. Then it will be theoretical. Whenever we are getting a defect like that, start. Okay.
never get a bug, immediately we
Mm.
make the status as a new.
Okay. We raise a defect as a new. Okay.
Yes, we get the status as a new.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes. Now you are audible.
We defect as a new, and we send that, we report that bug to the concerned developer. Developer
Okay.
developer fix that defect and
Mhm.
send it back to the tester. We retest that and we close the bug if that bug is fixed. Otherwise,
Mhm.
we send it back to the developer again as a
Mhm.
new.
Mhm.
If a developer found that the bug is a duplicate,
Mhm.
then he make a status as duplicate. If that bug is invalid, also he make that invalid. Or if that bug is not a bug, or that defect is not a defect, then he can't fix that.
ओके, तुमचा आवाज ब्रेक होतोय, आम्हाला ऐकूच येत नाहीये. एनीवन एल्स? एनीवन एल्स? ती कल्पना गवळी जॉईनच नाही करत का? हॅलो.
हा करते सर.
ती मला कधीच दिसली नाही लेक्चर मध्ये.
नाही असते.
लेट जॉईन करते का?
एखाद्या वेळेस लवकरही असते.
ओके.
करते पण
सो
वेळेवर.
ओके ओके. सो मी एक डिफेक्टचे नोट शेअर केली होती. त्या डिफेक्ट मधलं त्याच्यामधले सर्व क्वेश्चन्स लाईक ते जरी केले तुम्ही तरी सुद्धा सफिशियंट आहे. ओके. सो जेवढं जमेल त्या डिफेक्टच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये तेवढं ते क्वेश्चन्स करून ठेवा. ओके, म्हणजे त्याचे रिअल टाइम क्वेश्चन, बाहेरचे क्वेश्चन जे काही असतील ते त्याच्यामधूनच येतील. ओके. सो आता लाईक आय एम शेअरिंग माय स्क्रीन. ओके. सो आता हे जे डिफेक्ट स्टेटस दिलेलं आहे टेस्ट इंजिनियर, लाईक टेस्ट इंजिनियर म्हणजे कोण? आपणच ना. लाईक वी आर द. ओके, रिवाइज. ओके, सो टेस्ट इंजिनियर मीन्स वी. ओके, वी रेज इट. आता हे न्यू स्टेटस कुठलं आहे? जिरा मधलं स्टेटस आहे. ओके, सो जिरा आहे का माझ्याजवळ? कोणाजवळ जिराची लिंक आहे? मी जिरा यूज करतो का? कोणाकडे
हो
आहे
सर
का?
आहे.
एक लिंक पिन करा ना मला आणि मला ऍड करा त्याच्यात. ओके. सो हे जे स्टेटस आहेत हे कुठले आहेत?
सर
जिरा
मी
मधले आहेत.
लॅपटॉपला नाही, मी डायरेक्ट तुम्हाला सेंड करते.
ओके.
तसं होणार नाही.
हा. जॉईन करायचं ऑप्शन येत नाहीये. अश्विनी, आर यू देअर?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
ओके ओके. सो अश्विनी,
झालंय
व्हॉट इज
सर
द
आता जॉईन. त्यावेळेस प्रॉब्लेम येत होता.
ओके अश्विनी, व्हॉट इज ब्लॅक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग? आता म्यूट झाले तुम्ही. व्हेन आय आस्क यू क्वेश्चन यू शुड गिव्ह आन्सर.
तर ऍक्च्युली इथे रेंजचा इश्यू आहे आणि आजूबाजूला खूप आवाज आहे.
ओके.
त्याच्यामुळे ब्लॅक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग is done by we, means the tester.
Yes, what we do it in it? like whoever admin, like I please add me, add my email ID there so that I can access the Jira. So अभ्यास करावा लागेल अश्विनी, विदाउट लाईक स्टडी असं नाही जमणार. When black box testing means what? It's done by the test engineer. Here, like we check if our build is developed according to the customer requirement, or like simply we check the application's completeness and correctness. Okay, or from the external interface we provide different types of inputs like positive inputs and negative inputs and check application is behaving correctly or not. That is what black box testing. Okay. Jyoti, can you add me in Jira?
हा, एक मिनिट सर, मी लॅपटॉप चालू करते.
ओके. राणी, तुम्हाला आहे का ऍक्सेस? तुम्ही पण ऍड करू शकता जर ऍक्सेस.
ओके सर, मी पण मोबाईल वरती आहे जॉईन.
अनिता,
सर मी पण मोबाईल वरतीच आहे आज.
ओके ओके ठीक आहे. सो आता हे जे न्यू स्टेटस आहे ना, हे ऍप्लिकेशन लाईक जिराचं स्टेटस आहे. वेन एव्हर वी रेज अ डिफेक्ट वी रेज इट ॲज अ न्यू. ओके. नाव आता हे असाइन असेल, ओके, असाइन असेल किंवा इन प्रोग्रेस असेल. ओके, वी असाइन द डिफेक्ट and developer will make it as a in progress. Okay, we assign the defect and developer will make it as a in progress. Okay, so he will fix that defect and move the defect to the fixed. Okay, now after the fix he will move to the QA. Okay, he will move to the QA, then we will retest the defect. Okay, and if it is working fine then we will close it. Okay, if it is working fine then we will close it. So new assign fixed, move to the QA and then retest and then close. Okay, so without deploying the defect to the QA we cannot retest. Okay, so like tell them, like while telling, like when the developer will deploy the defect to the QA we will retest it, and if it is working fine then we will close it. If it is not working fine, either we can reopen and assign back, or we can raise a new defect. Okay, so suppose आता तुम्हाला असा क्वेश्चन विचारला की लाईक सपोज देर इज अ इश्यू, लाईक तुम्ही जो इश्यू रेज केलेला आहे तो फिक्स झालाय, बट त्याच्यामुळे काय होतं, लाईक बट फिक्स करताना तुम्हाला नवीन इश्यू ऑब्झर्व झाला किंवा लाईक कम्प्लिटली न्यू इश्यू ऑब्झर्व झाला, तर त्या केसमध्ये तुम्ही रिओपन करणार का? नाही, त्या केसमध्ये न्यू डिफेक्ट ओपन करणार. असं विचारलं की तुमचा ओल्ड इश्यू जो आहे तो 50% फिक्स झालेला आहे आणि 50% फिक्स नाही झालेला आहे, त्या केसमध्ये काय करतात? ओके, 50% फिक्स झालाय आणि 50% नाही फिक्स झालाय, तर त्या केसमध्ये काय करचाल? सो त्या केसमध्ये डिपेंड्स अपॉन अस, लाईक वी कॅन क्लोज द एक्झिस्टिंग डिफेक्ट अँड रेज अ न्यू डिफेक्ट. ओके, so now there will be like another status is also like so he will developer will say like we can't fix, we don't have time, so we will make the defect as a default. Okay, so uh, and there are other reasons, like we can here developer can reject the defect by saying it's a duplicate, invalid, not reproducible, data issue. Okay, so there are other like reasons also to reject that defect. Okay, so in this way you need to tell. Okay, so basically new, assigned, fixed, when developer will deploy to the QA we will retest it, and if it is fixed to close it. If it is not fixed then we will reopen and assign back to the developer. Developer can reject the defect by saying duplicate, invalid, not reproducible, environment issue, data issue, by saying these reasons. Also he can say like it's a not valid defect, or it's a valid defect, we don't have that much time to fix that, so we are moving that defect to the next sprint or next release, so he can defer that defect. Okay, simple असं सांगा. Okay. Okay. So like जर असं विचारलं की if you get a 500 defects, sorry, if you have 500 test cases and you have 2 days to execute those test cases, you have 2 days to execute those test cases, so what will be your approach? And you are the only one tester in the team, so what you will do? So question is like, if you have 500 test cases and there are only 2 days, okay, there are only 2 days to execute those test cases and you are the only one tester. In that case, what you will do?
So run those high priority test cases which covers the main application flow.
Okay, anyone else? So what we call it as a,
Sanity.
no, no, it's not sanity, like it's a
Okay, smoke.
monkey testing. We will do monkey
Okay,
testing, like
okay.
we will try to cover as much as possible high priority test cases. Okay, and we will give conditional sign off here, like we will tell, while giving the sign off, we will tell that we have not covered all the scenarios due to the time constraints. Whatever we have covered, I have like we have mentioned here. We will mention that these are test cases we have covered and we are giving conditional sign off because जे आपण टेस्ट केलेलं नाही त्याच्यामध्ये इश्यू येऊ शकतो. Okay, so in that case we will do the like we will run the high priority test cases first, then critical and high priority test cases, try to cover those. Okay, at least we need to cover those. Okay, so there is one more question, tricky question, like suppose you have like you are doing the regression and you are at the final day. Okay, you are doing the regression, you are at the final day and you got high priority and high severity defect, so what you will do?
So first raise the defect.
No matter at any stage you are getting the defect, first priority will be the raising the defect. Okay, we will raise that defect. Okay, so first, like I will raise the defect and inform the developer and like scrum master, other team members. Okay, so is there any issue with Skype, like Umesh is joining, leaving, joining, leaving? Okay, so next question will be like, suppose you are joining our team but we don't have KT documents, okay, or like any documentation available with us, so what approach you will follow? Okay, so you are joining us as a tester. Okay, you are joining us as a 3+ years experience, but we don't have KT documents available or documentation available, and there is no one to give KT to you, so what you will do?
Perform exploratory testing.
Yeah, so like using the previous documentation, like whoever run the test cases, or I will open the previous release test cases from the Jira, or like whatever defect management tool is there or a project management tool is there, I will open the previous release test cases. I will try to go through those test cases and try to run those test cases on application, or I will explore the application. Okay, using the those test cases. Okay, in that way I will learn the application. Okay, suppose असे पण questions विचारतात like, mm, what you will do, like there is a one banking application, so what are the sanity scenarios for the banking application? So basic banking application is there, what are the sanity scenarios for the banking application?
Login functionality.
डोंट टेल लॉग इन ॲट एनी टाइम. बँक मध्ये काय आपण लॉग इन करतो का फक्त?
Previously, we have to log in first to go to the
No, no, no.
account.
सॅनिटी सिनॅरिओज. ओके. सो सॅनिटी मध्ये लॉग इन लाईक बँकेमध्ये आपण लॉग इन करतो का? व्हॉट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ सॅनिटी?
We check the core functionality of the applications.
सो बँकिंग
Surface
मध्ये
level.
लॉग इन कोर फंक्शनॅलिटी आहे का?
security.
So we have to check all the pages, main account info, page info.
Balance.
सो बँकेच्या मेन फंक्शनॅलिटीज काय आहेत?
We can open the
Transaction.
account, do the
Opening,
transaction.
सॉरी.
opening the account, checking the balance,
Transaction.
transaction.
ओके. So sanity मध्ये
Transport.
like what we tell, like we run the core functionality of our application. Okay, core functionality. So like for any application there is म्हणजे core login ही core functionality नाहीये. Okay, so it's like security provided. Okay, it's like security provided. ओके, कोर फंक्शनॅलिटी नाहीये लॉग इन. ओके, फॉर एक्झाम्पल बँकिंग जर म्हणलं तर लॉग इन साठी लोक यूज करतात का? बँकिंग ही लॉग इन करण्यासाठी यूज करतात?
No.
नाही.
No, sir.
हा.
No.
सो व्हाय वी यूज लाईक बँकिंग ऍप्लिकेशन? टू चेक द बॅलन्स, टू ट्रान्सफर द मनी, okay, to withdraw the statement, okay, to like what else we can do? To apply the loan, okay, to take the insurance, okay, or like
To pay the credit card bill.
yeah, pay the credit card bill. Okay, so these are the core functionality. Okay, so for that we will say like if we are doing the sanity check for the banking application, we will check the balance, we will transfer the funds, we will receive the funds. Okay, then we will like donate the fund, or like say we will pay the credit card bills, we will try to apply the loans. Okay, we will try to check the statement for 6 months. Okay, so whatever functionality user will use. Okay, सॅनिटी मध्ये काय चेक करतो? युजर ज्या फंक्शनॅलिटी यूज करणार आहेत त्या बरोबर चालतायत का नाही. ओके, दॅट इज व्हॉट कोर फंक्शनॅलिटी. आणि अलॉंग विथ दॅट वी विल डू द पेज नेव्हिगेशन. आता ट्रान्सफर करताना पेज नेव्हिगेशन म्हणजे काय? एका पेजवरून दुसऱ्या पेजवर जाणे. दॅट इज व्हॉट पेज नेव्हिगेशन, और दॅट इज व्हॉट कॉल्ड एज अ पेजिनेशन. ओके, पेज नेव्हिगेशन अँड पेजिनेशन. एका पेजवरून दुसऱ्या पेजवर जाणे. दॅट इज व्हॉट कॉल्ड एज अ पेजिनेशन और पेज नेव्हिगेशन. ओके, सो त्या केसमध्ये काय होईल? लाईक आपण पेजिनेशन करतोय म्हणजे काय? एका पेजवरून दुसऱ्या पेजवर जातोय का नाही. मग इम्पॉर्टंट लिंक्स असतात बँकेच्या, लाईक दुसऱ्या कोणत्या, त्या एखाद्या पेजवर गेल्यावर त्या लिंक्स अवेलेबल असतील तर त्या क्लिक करून चेक करू आपण. UI जर मध्ये काही इश्यू असेल, UI चेक करू. एखादी सर्व्हिस तिथं हिट झालेली आपल्याला फेल झाली तर ते आपण हे करू, लाईक चेक करू. सो इट्स नॉट लाईक दॅट यू आर डुईंग सॅनिटी म्हणजे काय? तर कोर फंक्शनॅलिटी, बेसिक, व्हेरी बेसिक फंक्शनॅलिटी वी विल चेक. ओके, सो आता नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन सपोज असा विचारला, सो व्हॉट यू विल टेस्ट डू दिस, व्हॉट आर द सॅनिटी सिनेरियोज फॉर सिग्नल्स. ओके, सिग्नल म्हणजे समजतंय तुम्हाला? सिग्नल जे राहतात रोडवर. सो व्हॉट आर द सॅनिटी सिनेरियो फॉर दोज सिग्नल्स?
We will
Check it
we will
shows
we
the
will
proper color code or not.
we will check the signal red for red, yellow and green. First one.
Sorry,
We
can
check
you
the
repeat?
sequence of color.
Color.
But what is the use
Sequence
of
of
signal?
color.
So
It
what is the
indicate
definition of sanity? Like in sanity testing, we check the core functionality, right? Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What is the core functionality of signal?
Uh,
ज्यावेळेस सिग्नल स्टॉप होणार आहे त्यावेळेस रेड कलर हायलाइट म्हणजे शो केला पाहिजे. ज्यावेळेस
Okay.
सिग्नल
users
संपल
users
त्यावेळेस ग्रीन कलर दाखवला पाहिजे.
Okay.
त्याच्या टाइम नुसार तेवढ्याच टाइम साठी तो स्टॉप झाला पाहिजे.
Okay.
user should get indication when the color display on the signal. If there is a red, then user has to stop there for that
Mm-hmm.
particular time.
Mm-hmm.
After that,
Okay.
next, if green color is display, then user should get
Mm-hmm.
indication that he has to go ahead.
Okay.
So that functionality need to that is the core functionality we have to check in Sanity, that is all color and
So
signals are working
like
properly or
all
not.
the colors are working fine or not? Like if it is
Yes.
changing to blue, sorry, it is changing to green, red, and orange. Okay. So and after like given timer, it should change. Like whatever timer is given, it should change to particular color. That we will check. Okay. So सिग्नल आता तुमच्या समोर सिग्नल आणून ठेवलेला आहे. लाईक सिग्नलचा तो दिवा आणून ठेवलेला आहे विथ ऑल द मेकॅनिझम. सो काय टेस्ट कराल तुम्ही? तुम्ही 1 मिनिटाचा टाइम दिला तर 1 मिनिटाच्या टाइम नंतर कलर चेंज होईल का? ग्रीन टू रेड, रेड टू ऑरेंज, ऑरेंज टू ग्रीन. सिक्वेन्स फॉलो केला पाहिजे, बरोबर आहे? सो लाईक
Yes.
ग्रीन टू ऑरेंज जातं का? Here we need to check the sequence of functionality also. Like it should follow the sequence like green to red, red to orange, orange to green, or orange or yellow, like same. Okay, so we need to check that sequence also. Okay, it should change the time. It should change the color after particular time also. Okay, so that will be our checks. Okay, are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so now one requirement I will give, like there is one requirement. Okay, so on Facebook currently we are able to log in. Okay, currently we are able to log in with username, password. Okay, and login button. Okay, on Facebook currently we are able to log in with username, password, and login button. Okay, now Zuckerberg has come up with new addition. Okay, like user can log in with mobile number and OTP also. Okay, so this is a new requirement in release 10, 11, whatever it is. Okay, so he's saying like user can log in with mobile number and uh, mobile number and OTP also. Okay, are you getting requirement काय की करंटली आता आपण लॉग इन करू शकतो युजर नेमच्या जागी मोबाईल नंबर अँड there will be generate OTP button, and using that OTP we can log in into the system. Okay, so this is the new requirement. So what will be the regression scenarios, like where you will focus on in regression?
First of all, we will check the new
Mhm.
requirement. It is working as per the uh, given by the client. Means if you enter
Mhm.
the user phone number, then
Mhm.
we receive OTP or not.
Mhm.
Again, we will check if as per, this is a positive scenario. Means as per the requirements. Means there is a 10-digit phone number we enter, and if we say receive the OTP, it means it is past the it working fine, that functionality. Also,
Mhm.
we will check the dependent models or functionality
Mhm.
which will affect the affecting or not.
Mhm.
if we introduce new functionality in our application that will affect the previous one or next one or dependent functionality, that will also we will check in regression testing. That scenario we will pick up and do the testing.
So
We will make the
what now you know the Facebook, okay? So what are the dependent scenarios here?
uh, 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 means first login functionality also we have to check. That is also a one dependent.
Okay, so basic login is working or not? Okay,
Not,
so
yes.
now changes are on login module. Okay, mainly changes are on login module.
Log.
Okay, so we are checking user instead of username, user can enter the phone number and OTP also, and then login into the system. Okay, so this is the functional testing. During the system testing, we will check his different scenario with positive, negative. Okay, all the scenarios we will check here. Okay, during the regression we will check 20, like I told, 20% new functionality. So new functionality scenario we will add. Okay, then existing पण ज्याच्यावर जास्त डिपेंडंट आहेत. सो लॉग इन मॉड्यूल वर कोणते कोणते फंक्शनॅलिटी आहेत, लाईक लॉग इन विथ युजर नेम अँड पासवर्ड, ते पण चेक करू आपण. कारण आता ओटीपी न लॉग इन होत आहे म्हणल्यावर अगोदरची फंक्शनॅलिटी पण चालली पाहिजे नाही, युजर नेम आणि पासवर्ड न सुद्धा लॉग इन झालं पाहिजे. ओके, देन फॉरगॉट पासवर्ड चाललं पाहिजे. ओके, फॉरगॉट पासवर्ड, क्रिएट अकाउंट, हे पण चेक करू आपण. ओके, सो मेनली आपण ह्याच्या रिलेटेड चेक करू. आणि मग थोड्या टेस्ट केसेस लाईक व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट आपल्या ऍप्लिकेशनच्या, लाईक सेंडिंग मेसेजेस, रिसिव्हिंग मेसेजेस, ऍडिंग फ्रेंड, होम पेज. ओके, हे तर प्रत्येक वेळेस कव्हर करणारच. अदरवाइज इट विल बी कवर्ड फ्रॉम द ऑटोमेशन, लाईक ऑटोमेशन झालं पाहिजे ह्यांचं. ओके, सो बेसिकली जिथं जिथं जास्त चेंज आहे, ओके, जिथं जास्त चेंज आहे ते चेंजेस त्या मॉड्यूलवरच्या टेस्ट केसेस आपण जास्त घेणार ऑटोमेशन मध्ये. ओके, त्या मॉड्यूलवरच्या टेस्ट केसेस आपण जास्त घेणार. ओके, okay, so regression testing, what is regression testing? Okay, or what is end-to-end testing? Okay, so if someone is asking what is regression testing, तर त्याला clearly सांगा, whenever we are having new changes. Okay, whenever we are having new changes or we have added new changes to the application. Okay, when we add new changes to the application. Okay, फॉर एक्झाम्पल आता तुमचा लॅपटॉप आहे, लॅपटॉपला तुम्ही काय केलं, एक नवीन सपोज एक फॅन लावला नवीन. ओके, सो फॅन लावल्यानंतर तो फॅन तर चाललाच पाहिजे. ओके, पण त्याच्याबरोबर तुमचे लाईक अदर फंक्शनॅलिटीज लाईक चार्जिंग, ओके, डिस्प्लेइंग, और लाईक सॉफ्टवेअर चालले पाहिजेत, ऑन ऑफ झाला पाहिजे, बरोबर आहे. सो म्हणजे एखादी नवीन ऍडिशन झाला तर त्याच्यासोबत जुनं पण बरोबर चाललं पाहिजे. So both should work together. So whenever we add new functionality or new changes into the application, in that we will check if new functionality and old functionality together working fine or not. That is what regression. Okay, so in regression we prepare a regression suite. For every regression we prepare regression suite. Okay, in that we add new test cases, like 20% new test cases, near about 30% existing test cases, and end-to-end test cases, like data sharing test cases. End-to-end test cases means what? Our system is not only the system, our system will share the data to some system, and it will use the data from some system. Okay, so we will check that proper data sharing is happening or not in SIT only, during the regression only. So end-to-end testing is a part of regression. Okay, end-to-end testing is a part of regression. Okay, so in our organization there is no separate time for end-to-end testing. End-to-end testing म्हणजे काय, जर सपोज आता फेसबुक आणि लाईक व्हॉट्सअप एकमेकांसोबत डेटा शेअर करतात. ओके, सो व्हॉट्सअप मध्ये तुम्ही जर एखादा नंबर ऍड केला तर तुम्हाला लगेच इथं फेसबुकला सजेस्टेड फ्रेंड मध्ये त्याचं नाव येतं, राईट. So what they are doing, they are sharing the data with each other. So you need to check data sharing is happening proper or not. That is what end-to-end testing. Okay, so regression study, like currently we have 2 sprints. Okay, 1 month of regression we are doing after every release, like for every release असं सांगा, we are doing in 2 sprint, 1 month of regression we are doing. Okay, clearly असं सांगा. Okay, so next, what are the sanity scenarios for the Skype? Okay, what are the sanity scenarios for the Skype? Can anybody tell? Hello.
First check the who want to call. Then we search the name of that person. Then we are able to the call. We are able to audio call, video call. We can send the message,
Mm-hmm.
receive the message. We can able to send the files
Mm-hmm.
or data.
Correct. Okay. Like basically ह्या सगळ्या बटनची फंक्शनॅलिटी आपण चेक करू. ओके, लाईक हे जे खाल्ले इन्व्हाइट, it should allow us to invite. Okay, it should allow us to recording, it should allow us to see the participants, it
Participants,
should allow us to do
allow
mute, video call, okay, audio
chatting,
call,
sharing screen,
chatting, sharing, raise hand. Okay,
hand,
so all these are core functionalities of Skype. ओके, सो एक पण जर चलत नसेल तर तुम्ही स्काइप यूज कराल का? टेल मी, लाईक इफ इट इज not allowing us to record the lecture, we will use it or not? Simply we will see for another option because we need a recordings. Okay, so like if it is not allowing us to inviting some other, so we will not use it. Okay, so from the like users perspective also we need to see which is the core scenario, what is the VVIP scenario of the application, that we will run in sanity testing. Okay, so they will definitely, like if your interview is going on the Skype, okay, they will ask for, sometimes they will ask for Skype scenarios. If your interview going on the WebEx, they will ask for WebEx scenarios. So you need to see what are the buttons available and tell, like I will check if like Skype is allowing me to invite other persons, participant, recordings, mute, unmute, chatting, sharing, raising hand, all these functionality, reactions, I will check. All these core functionality I will check. Okay, so in this way you need to tell. Okay, so मी एक वेबसाईट सांगितली होती तुम्हा लोकांना.
yes, heart of
Which is it? ओके, सो ह्याच्यावर तुम्हाला सिनेरियोज भेटतील. ओके, दिस इज द scenarios, what is the test scenario, all these things are there. Okay, so you need to, like आता here, like what is recent, आता recent काय चाललंय, e-commerce website. Okay, so you need to open the e-commerce website. Okay, आणि इथं